Superman is a hero whose power has been shown to be absolutely insane in live action, from surviving planetary-level threats to completely overpowering some of the strongest beings in his universe. And on the other side, we have Sentry, a character who is often described as having the power of millions of exploding suns, making him one of the most feared and unpredictable forces in Marvel. So today we're going to compare both of them using only their live-action feats, and see that if these two fought at full power on screen, who would realistically win in a straight-up battle. First, let's talk about Superman. As a teenager, Clark pushes a fully loaded, submerged school bus out of a river onto the shore with one hand. At the beginning of the movie, Clark supports the collapsing steel tower of a massive oil rig to allow workers to escape by helicopter. Standard oil rigs of this type weigh approximately 30,000 tons. While weakened by a Kryptonian atmosphere, Superman flies against the massive gravitational force of the world engine. He eventually flies through the machine, destroying it in one shot, a feat requiring massive kinetic force. Superman manages to physically overpower General Zod, a trained Kryptonian warrior, and break his neck. A news clipping confirms that Superman shifted a devastating tectonic plate to prevent an earthquake in Ethiopia. This is widely considered his greatest feat. The average tectonic plate weighs around 24 quintillion tons. Superman is also shown effortlessly pulling a massive cargo ship, roughly 30,000 tons, through thick ice by a heavy chain. He catches a full force punch from the evolved Doomsday with one hand. However, after being resurrected, Superman is portrayed as significantly stronger, having fully integrated his power. He easily overpowers Wonder Woman's god-like strength, pinning her arms and headbutting her into the ground. He tosses Aquaman aside with one arm, and single-handedly overpowers the combined strength of Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg. But we are still not done. He catches Steppenwolf's axe on his shoulder without moving. He then punches Steppenwolf so hard that it sends him flying hundreds of feet and shatters his horn. When Superman died, his final scream was so powerful that it echoed across the world and reached the Mother Boxes. Upon his death, the Mother Boxes woke up and began calling out to Steppenwolf and Darkseid. The movie implies that as long as Superman was alive, the Mother Boxes were paralyzed by fear. They knew that Superman was the only being capable of stopping the Unity. His best feat is physically pulling apart the unity of the three Mother Boxes. These boxes possess enough combined energy to terraform or cleanse entire planets, and Superman is the only being capable of physically resisting and separating them. If we talk about his durability, Superman took a direct hit from a W-87 nuclear warhead while in space. Though reduced to a near-skeletal state because he was already weakened by kryptonite, his cells immediately regenerated upon exposure to direct yellow sunlight. He withstood the massive gravitational pressure of the world engine's terraforming beam for several minutes. This beam was powerful enough to displace the Earth's mass and terraform the planet. Superman also took a direct blow from Steppenwolf's axe, which had previously cleaved through Amazonian and Atlantean armor on his bare shoulder without a scratch. His speed is also comparable to the Flash. While the rest of the Justice League was frozen in Flash time, Superman was able to track Barry Allen's movement with his eyes and eventually move at comparable speeds to engage him. Superman is not faster than the speed of light, but he is clearly approaching relativistic levels of combat speed. If we talk about his powers and abilities, his heat vision can reach up to 3.5 million Kelvin, hot enough to melt Kryptonian metal. He also used his breath to freeze Steppenwolf's axe, which was forged from alien New God technology. Now let's talk about Sentry. Sentry is often described as having the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. He easily overpowers the entire Thunderbolts team, which includes super soldiers like Bucky Barnes and John Walker simultaneously. He is shown to be powerful enough to overload and melt Bucky's vibranium arm. In the MCU, vibranium is one of the most durable substances in existence. Previously, it took full power blasts from Iron Man, Vision's Mind Stone beam, and Thor's lightning to melt vibranium, but Sentry was doing it easily without any effort. Sentry effortlessly bends John Walker's shield with his bare hands. He is officially described as stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one. This places his base strength above the combined power of Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Captain Marvel. Similar to Superman, the MCU Sentry generates powerful shockwaves. He uses a singular shockwave to knock back John Walker and Yelena Belova at once. During his battle with the Thunderbolts, he sustained 0 visible damage from their combined attacks, including full-force punches from Bucky Barnes and knife attacks from Red Guardian. His power comes from a Super Soldier Serum 2.0 that is 100,000 times more powerful than Captain America's, granting him molecular manipulation. With a simple hand gesture, he can move people and objects with his mind. During the fight, he telekinetically hurled Red Guardian through a window and held him in place. He can halt several bullets in midair simultaneously. He was even able to grab Ghost while she was intangible, effectively locking her molecules so she could not phase through him. When Bob's dark side, the Void, takes over, the powers shift into something even more terrifying. With a simple hand gesture, the Void can obliterate people. Not by killing them, but by banishing them into a shadow dimension contained within his darkness. Those trapped in the Void's realm are forced to confront their worst traumatic memories in a maze of interconnected rooms that repeat indefinitely. The Void can speak through the people in these memories to psychologically torture his victims. It also provides Bob with a form of functional immortality. When a kill switch was used to stop Bob, the Void persona took over and fully resurrected and healed his body within minutes. Now, when we directly compare both of them, this is not an easy fight for either side. Sentry is officially described as being stronger than all of the Avengers combined. That means his raw physical strength alone scales above Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Captain America put together. That is not a small statement. We have already seen him overpower entire teams effortlessly, melt vibranium without visible effort, and dominate enhanced super soldiers as if they were normal humans. His base strength is terrifying, and if we purely talk about lifting power and brute force, Sentry might actually have the edge in raw output. However, a fight is not decided by strength alone. When we shift the focus to speed, Superman begins to separate himself. Reacting inside flash time is a massive advantage. When Barry Allen was moving at near light speed and the entire world looked frozen, Superman was still able to track and respond to him. In combat, that level of reaction speed changes everything. If Superman can perceive Sentry's movements before Sentry fully reacts, he controls the pace of the fight. Durability is also extremely close. Sentry has taken combined attacks from the Thunderbolts without damage and possesses molecular control that makes him difficult to harm. But Superman has survived planetary-level forces, endured a nuclear explosion in space, resisted terraforming gravity, and separated the Mother Box unity itself. These feats operate on a much larger environmental scale. Scaling above the Avengers does not automatically scale above planetary-level feats. This battle would be brutal and destructive. Sentry's overwhelming strength and molecular manipulation would push Superman harder than almost anyone in live action. There would be moments where Sentry could dominate exchanges with pure force. But in a prolonged fight, Superman's superior combat speed, higher planetary scale durability feats, and solar regeneration would likely allow him to gain the final advantage. So yes, this is a very close fight. Sentry may have greater raw combined strength scaling than the Avengers, but in a straight live-action matchup, Superman wins, and he would have to give it everything he has. It would not be easy to defeat Sentry. Now I want to know what you think. Does Sentry deserve the win? Does the Void change the outcome completely, or do you agree that Superman takes it? Comment your opinion below.